Morning television is known for its fast pace, bright studio lights, and cheerful conversations that help millions of viewers start their day. But every once in a while, something unexpected happens on air that captures the audience's attention in a completely different way. Recently, fans watching the beloved morning program Today couldn't stop talking about one particular moment involving two of the show's most recognizable faces, Jenna Bush Hager and Sheinelle Jones. Viewers have long admired both women for their warmth, humor, and natural chemistry on television. But during a recent broadcast, fans noticed something that quickly became the talk of social media. Jenna and Sheinelle appeared on screen looking especially radiant, energetic, and, according to many viewers, surprisingly youthful. It wasn't just their outfits or the lighting in the studio, it was their playful energy, their laughter, and the way they seemed completely at ease with one another. The moment began like any other morning segment. Jenna Bush Hager walked into the studio with her usual relaxed confidence, greeting everyone with a smile that instantly brightened the room. Moments later, Sheinelle Jones joined her, and the two shared a friendly exchange that felt less like a television segment and more like two longtime friends catching up over coffee. From the very beginning, their chemistry was impossible to miss. Jenna made a light-hearted joke about the early morning schedule, teasing that she had barely finished her second cup of coffee. Sheinelle laughed and responded that she had already finished 3. The studio crew chuckled quietly in the background, and the easy banter set the tone for what would become a surprisingly memorable segment. As the conversation continued, viewers couldn't help but notice how effortlessly the two hosts interacted. Jenna's quick wit paired perfectly with Sheinelle's warm, playful personality. They teased each other about fashion choices, laughed about the chaos of busy mornings, and shared small stories about everyday life that made the entire conversation feel genuine and relatable. One viewer later wrote online that watching the two together felt like watching best friends who accidentally ended up hosting a national morning show. Another fan commented that their laughter alone could brighten even the most stressful day. But what truly caught the audience's attention was the way Jenna and Sheinelle seemed to glow on screen. Their energy felt youthful, relaxed, and refreshingly authentic. Instead of trying too hard to be polished or scripted, they simply enjoyed the moment. Jenna joked about how early mornings sometimes make people look half asleep, then turned to Sheinelle and said with a playful grin that somehow Sheinelle always managed to look like she had just stepped out of a spa. Sheinelle laughed and fired back, teasing that Jenna had mastered the art of looking effortlessly put together even when running late. The playful teasing continued, and soon the entire conversation turned into a fun exchange about morning routines. Jenna admitted that some mornings involve rushing around the house searching for shoes or trying to remember where she left her phone. Sheinelle nodded knowingly, saying that juggling family life and work sometimes feels like a comedy sketch in real time. The humor was contagious. Even the studio atmosphere seemed lighter as the two hosts shared stories about relatable, everyday moments. Viewers at home could easily picture the scenes they described: chaotic mornings, spilled coffee, forgotten alarms, and those little moments of laughter that somehow make everything feel manageable. As the segment moved forward, fans noticed how naturally the two women supported each other during the conversation. When one made a joke, the other built on it. When one told a story, the other reacted with genuine curiosity and warmth. It was the kind of dynamic that can't be forced. It grows over time through trust, friendship, and shared experiences, and that's exactly what audiences seemed to connect with. At one point, Jenna complimented Sheinelle's bright outfit, saying it reminded her of spring sunshine. Sheinelle responded by complimenting Jenna's style right back, joking that Jenna had somehow discovered the secret formula for looking both comfortable and glamorous at the same time. Their conversation soon drifted into a funny discussion about how people often try to guess the secret behind someone's youthful appearance. Jenna laughed and said that if she had discovered any magical secret, she would gladly share it with everyone watching. Sheinelle added with a playful smile that sometimes the real secret is simply enjoying life, laughing often, and surrounding yourself with people who make you feel happy. The audience seemed to love that answer. Within hours, social media filled with comments from viewers who praised the host's positivity and natural charm. Many fans said the moment felt refreshing because it focused on friendship, humor, and genuine connection rather than anything overly dramatic. Some viewers even joked that the real beauty secret was simply the joy of working alongside someone you truly like. The conversation between Jenna and Sheinelle continued to flow effortlessly. They talked about music that lifts their mood during busy mornings, favorite comfort foods after a long day, and the simple happiness that comes from sharing a good laugh with friends. Jenna told a funny story about accidentally wearing mismatched shoes during a hectic morning once. Sheinelle laughed so hard that she jokingly promised to check Jenna's shoes before every broadcast from now on. Moments like that made the entire segment feel spontaneous and real. It wasn't just another television conversation, it felt like a snapshot of two people enjoying their work and the friendship that came with it. For longtime viewers of the show, this kind of energy isn't entirely surprising. Both Jenna Bush Hager and Sheinelle Jones have built reputations for being approachable, kind, and refreshingly genuine in an industry that sometimes feels overly polished. Their ability to balance professionalism with humor has made them favorites among audiences who appreciate hosts that feel relatable rather than distant. And perhaps that's what made this particular broadcast stand out so much. Instead of focusing on serious headlines or dramatic moments, it captured something simple but powerful: joy. Joy in conversation, joy in friendship, and joy in sharing a moment of laughter with millions of people watching from their living rooms. As the segment wrapped up, Jenna turned toward Sheinelle with a playful smile and joked that their morning conversations might be the best way to start anyone's day. Sheinelle agreed, adding that laughter might just be the most underrated part of any morning routine. The studio audience applauded softly, and the hosts shared one more laugh before moving on to the next topic of the day. But for many viewers, that short moment of humor and friendship was the highlight of the broadcast. Because sometimes what people really want to see on television isn't perfection. It's authenticity, it's laughter, and it's the kind of friendship that reminds us all how powerful a simple smile can be. Moments like these are the reason audiences continue to tune in day after day, not just for the headlines or the interviews, but for the personalities who bring warmth and humanity to the screen. And judging by the reaction from viewers everywhere, Jenna Bush Hager and Sheinelle Jones delivered exactly that: a bright, joyful moment that left fans smiling long after the segment ended. If you enjoyed this story and love seeing uplifting moments from your favorite television personalities, don't forget to share your thoughts and join the conversation, because sometimes the best stories are the ones that make us laugh, smile, and feel just a little more connected to the people we watch every morning.
Energy from that broadcast didn't fade when the cameras moved on to the next segment. In fact, the conversation between Jenna Bush Hager and Sheinelle Jones seemed to leave a lasting impression on everyone watching today that morning. Viewers continued talking about it throughout the day, sharing clips and reactions, and celebrating the kind of lighthearted television moment that simply feels good to watch. What made the moment stand out even more was the natural rhythm between the two hosts. Their friendship felt genuine, not rehearsed. Jenna's playful sense of humor often sparked the conversation, while Sheinelle's quick reactions and warm laughter kept the energy flowing. Together, they created a dynamic that felt effortless and engaging. Later in the broadcast, the two found themselves sitting together again during another discussion, and the playful mood from earlier hadn't disappeared. Jenna leaned slightly toward Sheinelle and joked that viewers might start thinking they had secretly discovered some kind of magical morning routine. Sheinelle smiled and responded with a laugh, saying if such a routine really existed, she would happily write a book about it and give Jenna full credit for the inspiration. That line made everyone around them laugh again. Jenna quickly replied that if they ever wrote that book together, it would probably be filled with stories about spilled coffee, late alarms, and running around the house trying to remember where they left their phones. The conversation drifted into a charming exchange about how unpredictable mornings can be. Sheinelle admitted that sometimes the morning rush feels like a small adventure. One moment, everything is calm, and the next moment, something unexpected happens. A missing shoe, a forgotten bag, or a sudden reminder about a meeting. Jenna nodded enthusiastically and joked that mornings seem to have their own personality. Some mornings feel calm and peaceful, while others feel like a fast-paced comedy scene. Their ability to laugh about everyday chaos made the conversation feel relatable. Viewers watching from home could easily recognize those same moments in their own routines. At one point, Sheinelle teased Jenna about always bringing a cheerful energy to the studio even on the busiest mornings. Jenna responded by saying that laughter is often the easiest way to turn a stressful moment into something memorable. She then added, with a smile, that working alongside people who make you laugh definitely helps. Sheinelle raised an eyebrow playfully and asked if that comment was meant as a compliment. Jenna laughed and assured her that it absolutely was. The exchange sparked another wave of laughter in the studio. It was the kind of spontaneous interaction that can't be scripted. It happens naturally when people feel comfortable around each other. As the conversation continued, Jenna shared a lighthearted memory about the first time she realized how much fun morning television could be. She said that while the schedule can be demanding, the friendships formed along the way make the experience incredibly rewarding. Sheinelle agreed and said that one of the most special parts of working in a live studio environment is the way conversations sometimes take unexpected turns. A simple comment can turn into a funny story, and before you know it, everyone in the room is smiling. Their chemistry was clearly visible. Every glance, every playful comment, and every shared laugh reinforced the sense that these two hosts genuinely enjoyed being around each other, and that feeling translated directly to the audience. Many viewers later commented that the segment felt refreshing because it highlighted friendship rather than competition. In a world where television often focuses on dramatic headlines or tense debates, seeing two colleagues laugh and support each other felt uplifting. At another moment during the broadcast, Jenna jokingly asked Sheinelle if she had ever noticed how quickly time passes during a fun conversation. Sheinelle nodded and said that sometimes it feels like the entire morning flies by in a matter of minutes. Jenna pretended to look surprised and said that might explain why her coffee cup always seems empty sooner than expected. Sheinelle laughed and replied that perhaps the real mystery of morning television isn't youthful energy or glowing smiles, it's how quickly the coffee disappears. That simple joke once again filled the studio with laughter. The conversation then turned toward the importance of enjoying small moments throughout the day. Sheinelle mentioned that laughter can be incredibly powerful, especially when shared with friends or colleagues. Jenna agreed and said that sometimes the best memories from live television aren't the big planned segments, but the spontaneous moments when everyone forgets about the cameras and simply enjoys the conversation. Those unscripted interactions are often what viewers remember most. As the broadcast moved forward, the relaxed atmosphere remained. Jenna and Sheinelle continued exchanging friendly jokes while also discussing lighter lifestyle topics. Their energy stayed upbeat, and their smiles seemed completely genuine. The combination of humor, friendship, and authenticity made the entire segment feel like a celebration of everyday joy. It's easy for television personalities to appear distant or overly polished, but moments like these remind audiences that the people they watch each morning are also human. People who laugh at silly jokes, share stories about busy mornings, and enjoy the company of good friends. And perhaps that's the real reason viewers responded so strongly to the broadcast, because beneath the bright lights of the studio and the structure of a morning show schedule, there was something simple and real happening. Two friends sharing a conversation and enjoying the moment. Toward the end of the program, Jenna looked toward Sheinelle again and joked that if mornings always started with that much laughter, she might actually start waking up earlier on purpose. Sheinelle responded with a playful smile and said she would believe that promise when she saw it. The exchange earned one last round of laughter from the studio crew. As the cameras prepared to move on to the next segment, both hosts shared a quick smile that seemed to capture the entire spirit of the morning, relaxed, joyful, and full of positive energy. And for viewers watching from home, it was another reminder that sometimes the most memorable television moments aren't carefully planned. They happen naturally when people connect, laugh, and share a genuine moment together. Those are the moments that stay with audiences long after the show ends. And if that morning's broadcast proved anything, it's that when Jenna Bush Hager and Sheinelle Jones share the screen, there's always a good chance that something delightful and wonderfully entertaining is about to happen.